Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Purr Play Sip Podcast for Perfect Day Cafe. The name of our podcast today on our YouTube video is Kittens, Kids, and Questions. So I'm here in our Covington location. Guys, does anybody know what the big day today is? What's the big deal? Kittens. What kittens? Kittens. So we have over 30 kittens inside of here today. We are at 25 West 8th Street in Covington, Kentucky, so the general Cincinnati area, and we are here to get kittens adopted. And we had lots of adult adoptions. We just had 7 of them. We have a few teenagers that are still left within here. So everybody, one of the reasons why we're doing this, just to kind of reintroduce, is the fact that we openly embrace children within here. We think they're an especially big part of socializing the animals, especially when they're kittens, because kittens have high energy and kids have high energy, don't they? Right? So we've got a lot of them, maybe some of them have been here for the first time. Some of them have been here a lot of times. And some of them have had their birthdays here. So anyway, but we're super excited to have kiddos in here, and we're going to see from a kid's perspective on the kind of questions that they have for the Perfect Day Cafe. All right? So with that, I'm going to start over here with Alexander. Well, I tell you what, why don't we introduce your name and what your question is?
My name is Alexander, and my question is...
Oh, Alexander's got it all written down. So while we're waiting for Alexander here to fidget with his question, I'm going to tell everybody that we have 30 kittens. Go.
How many different breeds of cats are there?
How many different breeds of cats are here? That's a really good question. And does anybody know the answer? Because I don't. So just to let everybody know, just to kind of expand on it, we don't really necessarily have pure breeds here all the time, but sometimes, yes, we do get Siamese. We'll get what's called a tuxie or a tabby or a gray tabby or what we just call floof, a black kitty. So we don't know exactly what the breeds are, and a lot of times there's several different types of breeds. But we do know that they're all coming either off of the streets or people have found them, then they go to the shelter, and then they come to us. But it is quite a few, and of course we have, I don't know how many breeds, but we do have over 30 kittens in here right now. So, all right, next one, pass it along. What's your name and your question?
Audrey, and how many whiskers do cats have?
That's good, Audrey. So you want to know how many whiskers do cats have?
Yeah.
They actually have 14 and a half. Did you know that? That's because it's not true. I don't know how many whiskers they have. You totally stumped me. Sometimes maybe they have a few different ones, but sometimes some have a lot of whiskers, like this one, or maybe not as much here. So we never know. It's all a little bit unique. It's kind of the same answer as Alexander's. They're all from across the streets and things like that, so they're all a little bit different. All right.
Hello, my name is Annabelle, and my question is, how do you bathe a kitten?
How do you bathe a kitten? Well, let me tell you the first way you bathe a kitten, Annabelle. Thank you. Great question. You put some gloves on. Okay. Kittens don't exactly like to be bathed. And you know why I think that's such a great question is because kittens or cats don't always need to be bathed. They bathe themselves a lot of times. But every once in a while, especially with maybe some of our floofball cats that we have in here, sometimes they get stuff on them. They go to the restroom and it's stuck on them and all that good kind of stuff. The best way to bathe them is, number one, when you bathe them, this sounds crazy, but try to bathe them low to the ground. So either a low sink or something like that. And the reason why is because if they get away, they can jump, especially a kitten. They can jump and then they can get a soft tissue injury. So that's one of the more important things. And the other thing is always ask your vet before you bathe them and make sure that it's something that is good for them. So there's some things that are, they don't really like a ton of soap and they don't use the kind of shampoo that people use. Good question.
My name is Elise, and my question is, when cats are born, do they have fur?
Do they have fur? Or Elise, that's a great question. And the answer to that is yes, they typically do. Now, believe it or not, there are some kitties that are almost completely bald or they are bald. But when kitties come out, that's how they're born. And then it's one of the more important things that a mama does is she actually licks the kitties and makes sure that they're all clean. Has anybody ever seen a mama give birth to kittens? Anybody seen a mama or a kitten? Have you seen that? Yes. So it's so cute. It was fun. One of my favorite stories is when we had two girls. They were much older than you are, and they used to work at the cafe, and they were 18 years old, and they actually saw a mama feeding her kitty, and they started crying because it was so cute. And they had never, ever seen it. So great question. Great question. All right. Next.
My name is Emerson, and where do the cats' names come from?
Oh, there's a good one. So Emerson, by the way, always comes in. You're either in here with your babysitter, your grandma, your mom. And so she pretty much knows all the names. That's why I brought that up, because every time Emerson will even say, when we had Mason go back. So Mason was one of our adults, and she goes, oh, is Mason going back? So she knew him. So to answer your question it depends on where the kitties come from. So if they are turned into the shelter and they don't have a name yet, usually the shelter gives them their names. And they kind of try to make really cute names. And that way they'll get adopted quicker. And other than that, sometimes the shelters will give them to fosters. So we had a foster that came in here this morning. Some of our kitties are from there. Matter of fact, I think this kitty is from a foster. And the foster gets to name them. And that one too? Yeah, so that was part of that litter of 5 kittens, and they get to name them. So it's really fun. So if you guys ever decided that you wanted to foster, it is a really fun way to do that, and you get to name the name of the kitties.
I also know somebody who actually adopted 2 kitties.
You did?
Ava Osterhaus.
Ava Osterhaus.
She picked out Rose and Oreo.
Rose and Oreo. When did she adopt them?
I don't know, but I know that she has them at her house right now.
Oh, that is great. Well, that's always an obvious way as well, too, that you can help out, is you can help adopt them, right? Well, did she rename them?
No.
No, she kept it Ava and Osterhaus? Or was that, or no, wait, that's her name, Ava Osterhaus. What was the name of the kitties?
Rose and Oreo.
Rose and Oreo. All right. Well, good one. All right. Who's next?
My name's Madeline, and why do some cats have long fur and some have very short?
Oh, that's pretty good. So Madeline says, why do some of them have short hair and why do them have long hair? This kind of reminds me of what Alexander's question is. What kind of breed are they? By the way, here comes our teenager. Where's our white floof? So there's more of the long hair, and maybe our teenager here is kind of the short hair. So the answer to your question is that's part of the breeds, right? So some of them, they're out in the wild, and the kitties will breed, and they'll come in here, and maybe dad or mom has long hair, and that's kind of how that works. But it's really weird because sometimes it'll be a black kitty and then a calico, and that you never know which one is which. That's why I kind of like the strays, because it's a little bit of everything. All right, who's next?
Hi, I'm Amelia, and do you guys usually have more boy cats or more girl cats?
Oh my gosh. That is a great question. I keep on saying that to everybody, but I don't know the answer to that. I think right now we have more boy cats in the room, but it's one of the things that I'm going to start doing some research on, because we actually, when they come in here, we put down whether or not it's a male or a female. So that I'm going to get an answer to that, and I'm going to tell everybody on Facebook Live. That fun?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. And by the way, these are friends that from Fort Thomas, and I knew their brother, your uncle, is one of my best friends.
Chris?
Yes, Chris is my best friend. So, all right.
My name's Charlotte, and how many do you have? A lots of adult or teenager cats?
Teenager cats. All right. So right now we only have about 3 or 4 teenager
That's
cats.
what I thought.
What?
That's what I thought.
Yes.
I counted.
So we only have 3 or 4 that are in here right now. All of our adult kitties, see, they can't, that kind of brings up a subject matter that they can't always get along together. The adults just kind of don't want to play with them as much as these guys want to play. So we had to bring our adults back to the different shelters where they'll get adopted. But some of these kittens that are what we call teenagers, they're just around the ages of these guys, so they'll be safe within here. So did you get a scratch? Did you do? Sometimes they just want to play really, really hard, and they don't necessarily want cuddles. All right. And what do you think, guys? Is that most of our questions that we have, or does anybody have any more?
Oh, I have one more.
All right. What more?
How old was this? When was this made?
When did we start this here?
Yeah.
This was on October the 13th. A year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half ago, we started. So it is amazing, too, because we have adopted out almost 1,300 kitties from this place, which is a lot of fun. And that's what this is really here about. So we love the kids, we love the kittens, but what we're really here is to make sure that we get a lot of them adopted, that we help out the shelters, and that we build a place where people like you guys can come hang out, because this is a pretty happy place, isn't it? I mean, you walk in here, and I get to see, I bet you every one of you guys had a huge smile on your face when you saw these kittens, all right? Okay. Did you have another question?
What was the first kitten's name?
The first kitten. I'm looking at Heather. What is it? Wolfie. So Wolfie was, oh yeah, I know Wolfie because I just spoke to Wolfie's parents. Yes. So Wolfie was the first person, and I hate to say it, but the person who was allowed to get it, they were actually doing some painting on our chalkboard menu, and they fell in love with Wolfie while they were here. So we weren't even open to the general public yet. Isn't that funny? Yes. Do you have another one?
How do you know if they're a boy or a girl?
Oh, another great question. There are 2 ways to find out, the 2 main ways. Number 1, when you come here to the Perfect Day Cafe, it has their name on there, and it usually has an M for male and F for female. Now, I'll give you another way that's a lot easier, I think, is that when you see the kitties that are in here, if they have a shaved belly, that's a girl, and a shaved bottom is a boy. So that's it. Sometimes it doesn't always work out because they have other operations, but that's it. So everybody that's comes through here has been spayed and neutered, and they've been to the doctor, and they have all their shots. So a lot of fun. Well, I want to thank all of you guys for all the different questions and for helping out all of our kittens. We're having a good time. Do we have a good time at the cat cafes? So everyone, if you've liked this video, these are the fun kind of things that we do. Cat cafes can be an amazing, happy place. And if you're looking for a time right now where you just need to relax and get some nice relaxation amongst these kitties and let them get on your lap and have all those fun things, let's face it, we all kind of need it, right? School was kind of hard. Not being able to play with each other was kind of hard. And now we're back together. And the cafe can be an amazing place for that. And that's kind of what we have here. And that's why we have kiddos here. And that's what we're here to support. So like and subscribe our channel. Please do us a favor. There's many, many different ways that you can help out cat cafes across the country. If you have one in your area, or if you're here in Covington or in Louisville, make sure you like our channel, subscribe to us. We'll tell you all about adoptions, all about kittens, all about the health, all those kind of fun questions, but mostly it's going to be about really cute animals that are fluffy and fun to play with. So with that, again, we want to thank everybody and hope you have a perfect day. Oh, wait a minute. Let's say that together. How about that? Ready? Hope you have a perfect day. Thank you, everyone.